What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Eric Wilson. Today, joined by my co host, Will Cohen. Today, we're here to talk about the Rangers' number one prospect, Gabriel Perreault. After Boston College got eliminated from the Frozen Four, the NCAA playoffs, Gabe Perreault kind of had all the leverage here. He wanted to come play for the Rangers, so he is foregoing the final 2 years of his college experience, and he signed an entry-level contract with the Rangers and immediately gets slotted right into the top six. So there's a lot to break down, going over whether or not we think it's the right time for Perreault to come over to New York or not, and how we think he's going to perform with the team. Because whether or not we want it to happen, it's happening all right. So we're going to get right on into that. But before we do, make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss notification. Leave your thoughts on this signing down in the comment section below, and your thoughts on how Gabe Perreault is going to perform here up in the majors. And lastly, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. But Will, let's get right on into it. How are you doing today, my friend? And give me your initial thoughts on this entry-level signing.
Doing good today. I had no classes, so I had a pretty easy day outside of football practice. My thoughts on the situation was Gabe Perreault had literally all the leverage coming into it. He could have told, if Chris Drury wasn't going to allow him to, step into the NHL right as he signed his contract, he could have said, "I'm going to go back for my last 2 years of college or my last year." And let's say next year the same thing happens, he could say, "All right, I'm not going to sign with you guys. I'm going to go back and I'll become a free agent at the end of at the end of this year." So he kind of had all the leverage, and I'm very excited to see him play. I haven't really set my expectations too high because I know how the Rangers do with prospects, but seeing the practice lines from this morning and seeing him slot on the right side with Lafreniere and Miller makes me pretty happy to see. I hope he plays there the entire game, but knowing Peter Laviolette, that might not be the case. He was also slotted onto the power play 2 unit, which makes me very happy as well because, here's a young kid who's very skilled, very smart. And he does fit very well on the power play 2 unit. I think his smarts would be something that power play 2 has been lacking. Um, so I am very happy that he signed, excited to see his game, and I'm excited to see him grow as a Ranger. It's been 2 years now, so, you know.
I think you explained it beautifully. The fact that he did have all the leverage. I saw a lot of people all over Rangers Twitter and Rangers Instagram complaining about this move, but I think what a lot of people didn't understand is whether the Rangers wanted to do this or not. They kind of had to. Otherwise, like you said, they're put at risk 2 years from now if he just decides not to sign with us and goes and signs somewhere else. It's exactly what Adam Fox did. I think he was drafted by Calgary, right?
They traded him to Carolina.
And
He
then he
said he
also
wouldn't.
used
Yeah.
to play there, and then he signed with
hmm
the Rangers. So we've walked away with the better outcome of a situation like this. With Gabe Perreault, it might not have turned out the same. So the Rangers had to ink him for 3 years. It's simply something that had to be done. I will say though, despite that, I am also very happy with this signing. We've been talking about Perreault a lot on this season. Um, we've pretty much hyped him up. I look at his game. I've watched a couple of the Boston College games. I really wanted to watch him win the Frozen Four, but I guess that's not going to happen. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. I enjoyed watching him play in the World Juniors for Team USA as well. Point is, based on all this time that I've been watching him and have been following him for the 2 years since he's been drafted, my only complaint about his game ever was the defensive aspect. And I've always said maybe we should hold off on bringing him up to the Rangers right now because forwards with defensive issues is something that we know quite a bit about, at least the last couple seasons. So I wasn't sure if it was the right time to add another part of that problem into the mix. But look at what he's done this season. Perreault played a little bit on Boston College's penalty kill. His defensive game is something that he's been working on this entire last year. He even scored a shorthanded goal, I think you mentioned right before we hit record. So to me, Perreault is a very young, he's 19 years old. He's fast, he's energized, he's got a great shot, he has a lot of top tier talent with him when it comes to an offensive mindset. He reads the ice very well, and now he's getting the chance to learn from the best of the best on this team, JT Miller. So if there's ever a time to bring him up, it's right now. He's young. He's going to have the energy we need to, hopefully, fingers crossed, make a playoff push, and he has a great mentor. Last year, if he would have been slotted next to Kreider and Zibanejad, that would have been horrible. So, yes, you're right, Will. You mentioned it earlier. The Rangers do have a problem when it comes to developing prospects. We've seen it so many times in the past. Now, and I am still concerned. I'm always going to be concerned when it comes to young talent in New York. But if there's any way that I think it could pan out, it's putting him a top tier talent like Perreault, who I think is better than Kakko, Lafreniere, Hedel. I think he's going to be better than any of them will ever be. And you're putting him next to JT Miller, who knows what it takes to win and has the personality to bring it out of a young guy like Gabe Perreault. So I love the signing. I'm expecting great things. The only way this can be screwed up is if what you said happens, and after 2 games, Peter Laviolette just decides to bury him on the 4th line like he's done with many other young players. So that's my only fear. Is it a likely fear? Honestly, yeah. But I'll enjoy the next 8 games until it happens. But we'll see. So, what are you expecting out of Perreault this season?
Um, Honestly, I'm really just I don't have any expectations for him. Like I said, I don't want to set expectations too high because while I do think Perreault is a very good player, he's never stepped foot in the NHL. I mean, I guess preseason, but even then, it was only rookie camp. So, and that's against other rookies, and other camp invites. He's I don't know if he played. He might have played one preseason game this year. I'm not sure. Can't think off the top of my head. But he's never played against NHL talent before or at the NHL level before, obviously. So I don't want to set expectations too high. If he doesn't do very well his first 8 games, it's fine. But I'm expecting for a very high IQ hockey player to go out there and be able to make some plays. Obviously, he's playing with JT Miller, so it should be easier for him to do so. Um, but I'm expecting him to have a lot of hockey IQ when he first steps on the ice. Maybe actually, I take that back. After a couple games, maybe not even in these 8 games, maybe it's next year, but I'm expecting to see his hockey sense come out at least, turtle through the clouds. Um, but I'm very excited for this to see him play, but I want to keep my expectations low because I know what the Rangers do to young forwards.
Yeah, it's like that line from Spider-Man. It's like expect disappointment, and you'll never be disappointed.
Exactly. Expect disappointment. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like I said, we'll see. Peter Laviolette is a loose cannon. This kid makes one mistake, and he'll get banished to the AHL for the next 10 years. So, I don't know. But if like I said before, he is set up for success. He's given a top 6 role right away. I mean, this is based on what the lines were like at practice today. The Rangers don't play again till tomorrow night. So we'll likely this is what will happen. But as of the time of this recording, it's not confirmed if he's going to make his debut tomorrow night. We'll see when he actually makes that debut and what kind of role he's going to be in. But as of right now, the day after the signing, and we get that first look at him at practice, it looks like he's going to get that top 6 start with JT Miller. So he is set up for success at the moment. It's just a matter of how long will that last. But the last thing I just want to ask before we wrap this up. Now, this is a hypothetical. We'll say hypothetically for the remaining 8 games of the season, Gabe Perreault plays on that second line with Lafreniere and JT Miller. Is this a move that gets the Rangers into the playoffs? Because to me, if he plays well and he just integrates right away into the NHL, I think he could be a difference-making player. If he's scoring, not even just goals, at least assisting, bringing some life out of Lafreniere and feeding off of the energy of JT Miller, I think we can see an increase in production in that top 6, which is something that has been struggling a little bit throughout the month of March. So is it like the bona fide move that's going to be like, yes, the Rangers just clinched the playoffs? I don't know, but I think it definitely helps their odds. Now, that's just my take, but I'll let you quickly give your opinion, and then we can wrap things up.
I'm trying to think about this for a second. I think that he has. See, the thing is, because he's never played, Well, I think
You
his.
don't know
I
what he's
think.
going to do.
I think his game could help push the Rangers into the playoffs. I just don't know how. I don't know if he'll be able to do it in 8 games. I think maybe if he had, a larger sample or, more games and he was able to get comfortable, maybe, I would be able to say, yeah, I think he could help make a push. But because it's 8 games, you don't have much time to get comfortable. You have to go now. Um, so I'm kind of like 25% he can, 75% I don't think so. That's not me like knocking him down or anything, obviously,
It's
but
it's a
I,
realistic expectation. I'm a
mm,
little crazy about this kid, so I'm just so hyped that he's here. I feel like we've been talking about it for 2 years, and the
yeah,
day has finally come.
I
But
know.
we'll see. And imagine this: you play 8 games in the NHL, and all of a sudden you're thrown into the Stanley Cup playoffs against a top team in the East. Like,
That's
'cause let's
pretty
be
good
real, the Rangers
experience
make the
too, let me tell you.
wild card. You're going to be going up against the Capitals and Ovechkin. It's not going to. It might not be pretty, but we'll see how Perot performs.
He'd be
And
going up against his former BC teammate too.
that's true.
Sorry, didn't mean to
And
interrupt you.
no, you're right. That's a good point. The NHL is scripted, so Leonard versus Perot, right or wrong.
Exactly.
You heard it here first. But we'll see how he performs, and we'll see what kind of talent he brings to the Rangers throughout the remainder of this season. But until then, we'll catch you guys next time. So if you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss notification. Once again, leave your thoughts down in that comment section below, and be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. But most importantly, have a good one, and let's
Let's
go
go
Rangers.
Rangers.